What's up? What's up? What's up? Just gonna admit everybody and get started here in the next minute. All right, we're gonna give it a minute here. What's up, Rich? Long time no see. We got Marissa on the call. We got Faith Jones.
And you were looking dapper today, sir. Wow.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. I try. Just trying to be like Jay Vaughn over here. He's always looking dapper. We got Jay Vaughn. We got Melissa. We got Javier. The J is silent. Okay. We got Sammy on the call. There we go. Look at that crew over there. We got Rafael Gonzalez. That's probably not the right way to say his last name. I'm sorry. See you guys in the room. We got Sammy, Steven, Christina, Marquise in the building. Love it. Yes.
Is there coffee in here?
Actually, you can join. They're in the back room. I believe they're in the conference room. Yep. I was gonna have everybody come in my office, but I felt like having 20 people in here probably wasn't gonna work. Okay. All right. Gonna give it a minute. Oh, we got Faith Jones coming in for round 2. Faith Jones, you're all over. Raphael again. All right. What's up, Faith? That's her signature move. If you ever see her on the streets, boom, that's what she'll do. What's up, Raphael? Liking the hat, man. Yeah, it's your signature move too? Love it. Looking sharp, man. Good. I think we have pretty much everybody. I think that's going to hop on. I'll give it literally one more minute. We'll start at 10:05, and I'm going to get right to it because I know I don't have too much time, and I know you guys are busy too. So I value and respect your time 110%, right? So I'm going to give it one more minute. We'll get started.
There we go. There.
Came running in like Superman. Woo! It's good. But awesome, guys. So real quick, I always start like this, and I think it's vitally important to understand that, guys, note takers are money makers. I don't care what anybody says. You got to take notes. I don't care if you're super, super, super smart. There's no way, it's impossible to memorize every single word that we go over in a workshop, right? So no takers are money makers, okay? The other thing is, I always say this, knowledge is not power. Like people say, that's just a bunch of bullshit, okay? Knowledge is potential. It's the implementation that creates the true power, okay? So here's what people do. A small percentage of people, they read books, right? Small percentage of people get on workshops. Small percentage of people listen to the audiobooks, right? But even a smaller percentage of those people that actually listen to the stuff and read the books actually take notes. And what's crazy is even a smaller percentage of those people that listen to it, take the notes, actually do the third and final step, and that's implement it into our business. How many times do we get on a workshop and we're like, dude, we're going to implement this. We're going to start doing this tomorrow. Contingent beneficiaries, fire it up. I'm going to increase my sales. I'm going to double everything, right? Next day comes around, we don't collect contingent beneficiaries, right? That's lack of implementation, right? Lack of coachability. I can have all the knowledge in the world up here, but if I'm not implementing it, it means nothing. Means nothing, okay? So that's the first thing, guys, okay? The second thing, we got to get fired up. We got to create some energy, right? If you're tired, you got to get amped up. You're not allowed to be tired, right? If you're a doctor and you have a surgical procedure that you need to get done, you can't be like, oh, moping around like, this could work. If I do this, it might work. Maybe he'll survive. No, you got to have a super positive, energetic attitude every single time, because that's something you can control, your attitude. I always say this, your attitude, not your aptitude, will determine your altitude. I say that all the time because it's true. It doesn't matter how many degrees you have. It doesn't matter how smart we are. Dude, it's that freaking attitude, right? You don't like wait for things to get exciting to get excited. You got to get excited and then watch exciting things happen. You got to get pumped up. If you're tired, right? You got to clap your hands. You got to listen to some music. You got to get fired up. You got to do some jumping jacks, right? I want to go through the whole thing, dude. I just want to give you guys tips on everything. First thing that comes to my mind from the start to the end, okay? It's on my heart to go over this because I feel like we just need tips on everything. I was going to go over one specific thing. I'm just going to give you fire tips on every single part of the pitch that we need to get. And I'm going to start from the way in the beginning. We're going to backtrack to even before we start calling Joe and Mary. All right. I'm talking about mind, body, spirit. Mind, body, spirit. This is before you even pick up the phone. This is before anything. This is as soon as you wake up. You got to wake up earlier. If you're waking up at 5, you got to wake up at 4. If you're waking up at 8, you got to wake up at 7. Whatever time you're waking up, push it an hour back. If you're getting up at 8, get up at 7. Whatever it is, that's an immediate thing that you can control right now. Everybody that's getting up at 7, start getting up at 6. What I want you to do and understand, guys, is half the world is getting up at 8, 8:30, whatever, to get to their 9 to 5. Dude, you got to be in that 1% that gets up early as shit before everybody starts hitting you up. If I get up at 8 o'clock, you know what happens? I got 75 text messages. I got calls. Shit, by the time 9 hits, oh my gosh, I'm not getting anything done. You got to pour into yourself before you pour into others. I don't care if you're an agent, leader, doesn't matter. Everybody's a leader on this call. So you have to pour into yourself first. You cannot pour from an empty cup. In order to lead others, you have to lead yourself. So it starts with that waking up early. Starts with having the discipline to not hit the snooze button. Right? We have to understand that we're going to tell ourselves that we're going to, hey, I'll tell you what, we'll get up at 8. Definitely, we'll get at the office by this time, and we'll pour into ourselves. But it's not going to happen. You got to find a time, and you got to make that time. Create a plan and execute that plan and pour into yourself. You have to get something that is motivational, something that's spiritual, and something that is educational before you even start your day. Find something. I usually post it in the group. I post something motivational, spiritual, and educational every morning. You got to listen to that stuff first. It's going to get your mind right. Okay? Those of you guys, you should be working out in the morning. I know it sounds silly, right? It sounds crazy, but I'm telling you, when you feel good, right? When you look good, you feel good. When you feel good, you're confident. They buy you, but they buy how confident you. Dude, when you eat better, when you work out, you're going to have more energy. It's funny. People think that if you wake up at 5 in the morning to work out, that you're actually going to have less energy. You have more energy. You accomplish something that day, right? You got to pour into yourself first. That's the first thing, okay? Get your mind right. Think positively. Imagine if the first thing they say, actually, studies say that the first 20 minutes of your day may dictate the rest of your day. So if you get up and the first thing you're listening to is the news, dude, that is so detrimental to your brain. They actually say that your dreams every single night, 85% of your dreams are repeated. Why is that? 85% of our dreams that we have on a nightly basis, whether you remember them or not, you have dreams and they're repeated 85% of the time. You know why? Because we're so fixated on thinking of the same shit. You need to be that person that changes your thought process. And it's got to be in a positive way. You got to be like a spin doctor. If something happens that's negative, you got to flip it into a positive, right? Anything that happens, be a spin doctor. It's cold outside. Well, it could be a lot colder. Let's go get it, right? Can't control the weather. All right. Did you guys know that you're living in Chicago? Stop talking about how cold it is out here or how windy it is. Dude, you chose to live in Chicago. I'm not talking about the weather. The pandemic, dude, I know I don't want to knock the seriousness of the pandemic, but guys, we can't control that shit right now. You got to just keep pushing forward. The shit you can't control, you can't dwell on. I don't waste a single second of my time on things I can't control. If I can't control it, I will not waste a second on it. I might tell myself like, oh, this happened. You know what? I got to flip it. I got to flip it real quick. You got to be specialized in being spin doctors. They should call you, Sammy. They should call you the spin doctor, baby. All right. You are the spin doctor. It's easy to be positive when great things are happening, but it's very difficult to stay positive when what? When shit's not going your way. When things are going rough, that's the true test of positivity, not when shit's going great. That's easy to be positive when things are going good. It's when things aren't going good and you remain that positivity. Okay? You got to have that like law of attraction. When you think positive, you'll attract positive. When you think negative, you're going to attract negative. You ever hear when it rains, it pours? Or that he or she is lucky? That's a bunch of bullshit. You create your own luck. The harder you work, the luckier you get, right? So it starts with your mental. Guys, this is the most important asset that we have. Your mind has like 60,000 thoughts in just one day. It's impossible to control every single thought that you have, but I can guarantee when you start spinning shit into a positive, you're going to start attracting good things in your life. You're going to start attracting that positive energy. Whether you believe in God, karma, the universe, whatever you believe in, positive things will happen to positive thinkers every single time. Maybe not immediately, but eventually. Okay, so it starts with you, guys. Starts with pouring into your most valuable asset that God created. It's you. You are the most important asset. So pour into you first. Okay. Then after you pour into yourself, you got to start planning things. The 5 P's, guys. Proper planning prevents poor performance. Hey, and guys, don't think I'm screaming at you. I'm just really passionate about this stuff. Okay? Please don't mistake my passion for being crazy. No, I'm kidding. So I'm just really passionate, and I only know one freaking way, and it's to get amped up. The 5 P's. Proper planning prevents poor performance. You could even say 6 P's. Proper planning prevents poor performance. I think if you ask Tommy, he's got like 17 P's. Professional proper planning prevents poor performance. Something I don't even know, right? But just keep it simple. Let's do 5, right? You have to plan. You have to plan the shit out. This is the only time you can have a plan B. When it comes to the deal, you don't have a plan B. It's AIL for life, plan A, option A all day. AIL for life. But when it comes to you planning, right, you need to have some backup plans. If someone no-shows you, you don't just sit there on Zoom and play with your hair, right? You're like, all right, dude, I'll tell you what, remember we had those 2 people that no-showed us? I already have that set up in the back of your mind. All right, let's give those people a call. That way you're staying busy. They say that people, they get really depressed, right? People get really in their thoughts, in their feelings. I do the same thing. But a lot of people ask me how I stay so motivated. After 5 years of being here, I was already the top producer in the whole company, 2017, 2018. I already won March Madness. I already did all that shit, right? People ask me how I stay so motivated. And one of the things I tell people is like, I just stay busy, right? You get those people that are like depressed on the couch. I'm not knocking that, but I can guarantee you those people that are on the sofa that are depressed as shit, if a fire breaks out, I bet you any money those people are going to get real motivated to get out of that place. Light some fire under their ass, right? So you gotta stay busy. Dude, I just stay fucking busy. Always do something. If you're an agent, you gotta set or sit. Set or sit. Execute a plan after you've created the plan. Okay? So create a plan. Whatever that plan is, I don't care. I'd rather go 100% at the wrong thing than 50% at the right thing. Dude, I guarantee you'll find out that the wrong thing is the wrong thing a lot quicker than if you go 50% at something that is the right thing. I'd rather go 100% and it's the wrong freaking thing, and I find out it's the wrong thing, and then I switch up the game plan. But you got to switch it up too. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result, right? You're doing the same thing and expecting a different result. That's the definition of insanity. You got to switch it up. So when you create the plan, you got to do it the night before. You have to do it the night before. Whatever your plan is, like, hey, okay, I got 4 appointments. I got 6 appointments, whatever it is. What I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite my schedule. See this schedule right here? I have a handwritten schedule I carry with me. And in between here, I got a planner. So everything goes right here, dude. This is like my life. right? So you can see it looks messy right now, right? I literally take the time to rewrite my schedule. My trainees know it. I do it every night. You see, in the morning, it's usually fucking perfect, right? And what I do is I rewrite the schedule. I put stars next to the people that I feel were priority, right? Maybe it's a POS fire term conversion. I'm going to put a star next to that. You know why? Because when I'm in the midst of the grind, I'm too busy to sit there and go back to Impact and look through all the leads. I'm wasting time. Time is so valuable. I can't get that shit back, right? So I'm sitting there. I'm like, all right, I got to review which ones are priority, right? I got to determine if I'm doing in person, I'm going to determine the distance between each appointment. That way I'm not wasting time in the field, right? I'm going to meal prep before. If I have to eat out, I'm going to make sure I'm like, oh, Joe Mary lives in Schaumburg. Okay, I know there was a Wendy's or there was this in Schaumburg, right? I'm going to make sure I stop there right after the appointment, swing by, and then go right to my next one. Have the shit already planned out. You got to get gas the night before. It sounds silly, but you waste time going to get gas, sitting there pumping gas. That's a waste of 5 minutes, right? You got to plan the shit the night before to the T, to everything. You got to have backup appointments. All right, I tell you what, I have these 3 will kits that I was going to go door knock. If this person no-shows me, I have 3 backups waiting to go in this area in Schaumburg. Now, if this person no-shows me, I got 3 backups right here that I'm going to do right away. This is how you don't waste time and utilize your time properly in the field, right? Once you create a plan and the plan, dude, I can't even like when I was traveling 4.5 hours away, dude, I remember I would leave at like 12:30 at night because at the time I had a girlfriend that really didn't want me to travel. So I would literally like leave at 12:30, sneak my ass out, go 4.5 hours away, falling asleep on the way there, right? Like these stories, I hear Tommy saying the same shit. There's no secret to success. It's success leaves clues. You just got to find them, dude. Just follow the steps. I would drive 4.5 hours away, get 2 hours of sleep, 3 hours of sleep, and then go to my 8 a.m. Why? Why? Because you got to do crazy things to get crazy results. You got to do crazy shit. You have to. Right? I would get there, right? And I swear to you, I would be exhausted. By the end of the day, 12 o'clock hits, wrote 4,000 or 5,000 in a day, would go to my desk, right? I'd be at a hotel, right? I'd look at the bed and the desk. Although the bed looked a lot more comfortable, and what I wanted to do was sleep, my job, I wasn't clocking out. Dude, it's not time to clock out. If you're a bartender and you're done at 2 a.m., you're not done at 2 a.m. You got to clean up. You got to count the cash register. You got to restock the bottles. You got to do all the shit that you got to do before the next day is prepped up. Or else what's going to happen? The next day is crazy. You got to plan it all the night before so that the next day you're ready to rock. Ready to rock. Dude, if you have too much shit on your mind, you know, if you ask like I listen to a lot of podcasts on like, you know, millionaire mindset, a lot of like, you know, people that are really up there that have done a lot of things. And dude, they have like a lot of people do stuff for them. They say like people like Ed Millett and things like that. Like if you watch how they dress, some of them, like one guy, Gary V, he wears all black. Because that's one less thing that he needs to think about the next day. He's like, no, I just put on black shirt, black pants because I don't want to think. I don't have time to think about my outfit. I don't have time to waste. He literally is like, dude, this one less thing I got to think about. Your brain should be so fixated on just the grind, right? So I prep the night before. So the next day, dude, all I am is just go, 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 go. I don't want to waste time in the field. Dude, you might as well take your calendar from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m., maybe even 11 or 12 if you're crazy like me, and highlight that shit in all green because it's money making time. All right. It's not all about money. Trust me. Trust me. I've come from no money. I remember, growing up, 7 kids. Trust me, we didn't have shit. Everything I need. I remember when I was 12 years old, I started my own lawn care business. Why? Because my dad, every time I asked him to buy shoes, because I saw all my friends buying brand new shoes, I had to literally work for that shit. I would be like, Dad, I see this guy got some shoes. Can I get some shoes? He's like, no. That was my dad's famous line. Famous line was no. No. I'm like, Dad, can I get like this shirt? No. Can I get this? No. Why do you think when I was 12 years old, I started a lawn care business? When I was, I think even younger, nobody taught me to do this, but I literally grabbed a ladder from the garage. We had a peach tree in the back. I literally grabbed a bunch of peaches, went on the corner when I was like 11, 12 years old and started selling peaches on the corner. Nobody taught me to do that shit, but at the end of the day, they did teach me to do that shit. I watched my dad. I asked him one time, I said, Dad, what do you do for fun? He said, I work. I work. He came here for one reason, and that was to give us an opportunity. So you best believe I'm going to plan not to fail. I'm going to plan to fucking dominate for them, not for me, for them, right? So you have to understand that nothing's going to be given in this deal. You got to plan the shit. We're going to give you that AIL tool belt, but you got to freaking add shit to the tool belt. You got to add some tools, and you got to use the right tools. You can't be using a screwdriver to hammer a nail, right? You got to use the right tools. We're going to give you the tools, the closes and stuff like that, but you got to use the right ones at the right time, right? Next thing, okay, that was regarding the planning. I can go on and on about planning, but when it comes to the phones, okay, because I'm going to go through the whole little tips throughout. When it comes to the phones, guys, it all starts on the phones. Remember, you got to have that mind, body, spirit, right? You got to have that planning, right? You got to figure out which leads you're going to call, whatever it's going to be. But you got to have high energy. Dude, I always say I got high energy, low IQ. I'm not the smartest, but high energy, right? I got some energy. People will follow energy. You can be the smartest person in the world and not implement that shit, right? So high energy. So I'm on the phones, right? You guys know. Hey, Gia, or I'll call Joe. I was going to call myself there for a second. But I'm like, hey, Joe, right? When I'm training people, I'll go across the room because I want them to be louder. Hey, Joe. Hey, Joe, it's Chief Lonnie with American Income. Well, obviously handling some of your benefits through the Teamsters. How we doing? Guys, it sounds simple, but you got to implement this. You got to be loud, right? You got to be a dog on the phones, a beast on the phones. You could be the best closer in the world. If you don't have a place to be, you're not going to close anybody. You could be the best freaking closer. You could have every single close out there. If you don't have anywhere to go, we're not writing anybody up. Okay? So become a beast at the phones. Control starts on the phones as well. If you're soft on the phones and think that you're going to be able to transfer that softness, it's going to transfer right over into the sit. If you're soft on the phones, what are they expecting? They're going to be like, this guy's trying to go over some insurance benefits with me, but we're just going to tell them no, right? They're just going to think it's no big deal. So you gotta be stern, okay? And you gotta really get good with domination over the phones. You gotta dominate. You gotta be super precise with your verbiage. You gotta use what's called the porcupine effect and come back at them with the porcupine. Try to poke a porcupine, you're gonna get poked right back. That's why they call it that. You gotta answer their question with a question. You got to become a master at this. Master at answering their question with a question. Okay. I'm not interested in the benefits. Okay, no problem, Joe. And here's how you got to do it. Don't just say, oh, Joe, no, they're already set up for you. You got to throw in some jokes. Like if they say, will you mail it out to me? Joe, I'll tell you what, that would make my life a lot easier. But the company does require us to make sure we explain it, answer any questions. It just gets you all caught up with all the other members. Now, Joe, are you guys working the day shift? You got to answer it calmly, like a professional. Professional versus amateur. Amateurs are like if someone says, we're going on vacation, we're leaving tomorrow. Here's what an amateur would do. Oh, well, Joe, this is really important. We got to get this done. When can we get you squared away? No, he just said he's going on vacation. I'll tell you what, Joe, you going anywhere fun? Okay. Thanks for the invite, man. I'll tell you what, more or less, right? And go into it. You got to crack a joke, build some rapport, and then go into the seriousness, right? Oh, okay. You going anywhere fun? Oh, wow. Okay. Going to the Bahamas. Well, I'll tell you what, thanks for the invite. They got me working like a dog over here. Or they got me working my butt off. They got me running around like a chicken with my head cut off. Now, when do you actually leave, Joe? Oh, okay. Okay. No problem. When do you actually get back? Okay. Dude, just like you gotta be a professional in your verbiage. You don't want to just be like panic mode because he said he's leaving for vacation, right? That's great. That's awesome, Joe. I'll tell you what. Thanks for the invite, man. They're gonna laugh. Get them to laugh real quick. Sometimes we're so fixated on the rebuttals, and we just say the rebuttal real quick. We sound robotic, right? Dude, I hate to say it, but these people, man, they're union guys, union girls. They're freak. They'll sniff that shit right out. They'll sniff the bullshit right out. You got to be real with them. Are you? Is there additional life insurance that you're trying to sell me? That's a great question. I always say that's a great question. Even if they say a comment, I say that's a great question. Like, well, you're probably just trying to sell me life insurance. Joe, that's a great question, right? Like just calm as hell. Yeah, Joe, that's a great question. So did you make it to any of the meetings where they talked about the program? Maybe that's where the confusion is. Dude, you got to understand that they're asking these crazy questions because they're confused. It's not because they don't like you. Don't take it offensive. It's because they honestly look at, if they say, I want to think about it, or are you trying to sell me, or this guy's just trying to sell me life insurance, or I can't afford it. Look at it as a question. They're really saying, Faith, how can I afford this program? Or, I want to think about it. Really, they're saying, Marissa, why do I have to make this decision today? Why is it so important? Right? You got to understand that you got to look at their objection as not a complaint. Or maybe it is a complaint, but it's more so a question. Okay? Don't get your, I've been to blame, so trust me, and I'm not perfect, so not by any means. I mess up still to this day. Okay? So I'm not saying I'm up here perfect. That's why we're growing together. We're going to go through it. We're going to grow through it. But don't get our panties in a bunch if the dude said that he's busy, or are you is this a scam? Dude, just agree with him. Be like, I'll tell you what, if I called you at 9:00 at night, or if you called me at 9:00, I'd probably think it was a scam as well. There's so many telemarketers, scammers out there. I completely understand. But no, Joe, do you remember that 3x5 bill card that you filled out? You put your beneficiary as your wife, Sarah. I mean, that's going to remain the same, right? Okay, do you remember the letter? Dude, hit them with 1,000 questions, because the person that asked the questions has the control. If you're asking questions, you're on your heels. Now they got the control. Are you trying to sell me something? Well, Joe, they say you'll afford no cost benefits. There are additional benefits. Well, how long is this going to take? Joe, that's it's just as quick as it's going to be. 10 to 15 minutes. Never put a time frame on it ever. First of all, but you say, Joe, that's a great question. Did you make it to any of the meetings where they talked about all this stuff? Oh, okay, Joe, that's probably where the confusion is. And I totally understand. I'd probably be confused as well. Okay. So what they did is they set you up with 4 no cost benefits, one of which is that insurance policy that goes to, Sarah, God forbid something were to happen to you. Literally, I'm just the middle guy. It's just my job to explain it, answer any questions, and literally just get you all caught up with all the other members. Joe, it's been like 147 members. You're like the last member that we haven't been able to get a hold of. So real quick, are you guys working the day shift? Boom, go right back to it. Calm, professional, right? And then you gotta solidify. Guys, we're solidifying, but we're not solidifying the right way. I know we're not, because the show ratio shows it. Numbers don't lie. Men lie, women lie. Numbers don't. Who do you think lies more, men or women? I'm just kidding. No, because I know the men are thinking, oh, the women. And the women are probably thinking the men, right? So fun fact is, if you ask somebody, if you actually look this up, who lies more, men or women, they actually lie equally, but for different reasons, okay? So that's a little side note, but they are, and that's the thing, buyers are liars. That's the crazy part. They're going to lie. Don't believe anything they say. Grandma just passed. That definitely breaks your heart, but you still got a job to do. You still got to get it done, okay? Oh, I just got sick. Okay. Oh, I tell you what, I there's something going on with me as well. I think I'm getting sick too, Joe. So more or less, I'll get you off the phone here. Now, it looks like they wrote down your address is 12, right? I'm right back into it. Whatever they say, okay. Their reason why they can't talk is the reason why I can talk. Oh, you're driving? Oh, I'm driving too, so I'll get you off the phone here, Joe. Now, real quick, they actually wrote down your address is 12, blah, blah, blah. Right back into it. They say, oh, I'm busy. I'll tell you what, I'm busy too, so I'll get you off the phone here, Joe. Now, real quick, I'm calling regarding that 3x5 yellow card that you filled out and you turned into us. I just need to verify the information and get you off the phone here. Now, right back into it, right? Now, I was saying solidify. So after you have accomplished a good call, you got to solidify at the very end, okay? Here's how I solidify. I know we're not doing this. Because I said I was doing it, and I recorded myself. And I realized I wasn't doing it the way it should be. You got to say it like this. All right, guys. Now, real quick, you get real slow, real serious. You build the importance, because the only reason why someone would no-show somebody is because they don't see any importance of it. Right? There's no importance behind it. So I say, Joe, real quick. Okay, I have to ask. Do you see any reason why tomorrow, anytime between 6 and 7, would not work for both you and for Mary, anytime between 6 and 7 for both you and Mary? Dude, how many times did I say both you and Mary in 6 to 7? Twice each. See, here's what we're doing. Guys, you don't see any reason why tomorrow, anytime between 6 and 7 wouldn't work for you guys? Okay, perfect. Because if we put you on, it does mean another member, won't be able to be seen. Dude, that shit's not going to work. It sounds like it's little, minute, but the small things add up to big things. You got to do it the right way every single time. So you say, do you see any reason why tomorrow, anytime between 6 and 7, would not work for both you and Mary? Anytime between 6 and 7 for you and Mary? There's no way they can be like, oh, well, you never told me Mary had to be there. I said it 4 times, right? Okay, perfect. Because if I put you and Mary anytime between 6 and 7 for tomorrow, that does mean another member that's been waiting on us would not be able to be seen anytime between 6 and 7, okay? So there's no reason why that time frame would not work for both you and Mary. At some point, they're going to be like, dude, no, I'll be there. Like, they're like, dude, what the hell? Like, why is this thing so important? All right, I'll be there, right? Don't say it quick. We're busy, we're important in control, but the things that need to be slowed down are the solidification. You got to slow this down, okay? And I'm to blame too. I used to do it really fast because I was scared they were going to be like, well, no, it's not going to work. If the man says, well, it should work. Okay, Joe, so it should work, or it's 110% going to work. Okay. All right, perfect. Because, and you could even use this one. This isn't mine. I can't claim this, but I think it'd be good to use. You can say, now, Joe, just the only reason you can imagine, man, we've been working with the police, firemen, teachers, pipe fitters. We've been running around like a chicken with her head cut off, like I said. I want you to imagine something real quick, man. Imagine if you know, I know you work hard. Imagine if you got up for work in the morning, right? You got ready. You drove all the way to work, right? Got your coffee in, you're set up, you're ready to go, right? You show up, you look at the parking lot, there's no cars in the parking lot. You go to the door and the door is locked. Well, Joe, I don't know about you, but I know if it were me, I'd be a little bit concerned, right? Probably be a little bit mad because no one told you that the stuff was closed down today, right? That's how we feel when we get somebody on the schedule and we show up to do our job and someone doesn't answer on the Zoom, we get a little concerned. We also wonder why no one told us why they weren't able to make that appointment. So, Joe, what I'm trying to say here is, do you see any reason, seriously, do you see any reason why a time frame that's going to work for you, right? For Mary too? Okay, great. All right, just have to make sure, man. It's going to be our last day in the area, and I'll be looking forward to taking care of you and Mary anytime between 6 and 7 for tomorrow, okay? All right, perfect. Right? Dude, I know we're not doing that. I know. And I know if we did do that, maybe not immediately, but eventually, you start mastering that, dude, people are going to show up. They're going to show up. Imagine if I showed up to work. Dude, it's such a true scenario, and you paint a picture. You know what's funny is Christina, my new trainee, she tried this, and she didn't even do it right. I'm not going to lie. But she said, imagine this. Imagine if you showed up to work and no one was there, and before the lady could finish, or before Christina can finish, the lady goes, "Oh, no, you're right. I'd be concerned. I'll be there." like, dude, you just got to use an extra solidification. And guys, we're not going to get it perfect, but just like referrals, it's better to ask the wrong way than not ask at all. There's certain types of action, guys. There's action, there's massive action, which I like to use, and there's no action. Imperfect action is better than no action, right? So once you get the phone call down, you got to transfer that control. Now it's game time, baby. Now it's lights, camera, action. Now we were going over this in the workshop yesterday, but when you get them on the Zoom, guys, like when you call them for the Zoom or when you're at the door, you got to be like, "Hey, Joe, how's it going? It's Giovanni over at American Income, obviously handling your benefits through the team search." Don't just assume they know who you are. Don't just be like, "Hey, it's Gio, go ahead and jump on that Zoom." They're like, "Wait, who is this again?" Right? You got to be like, hey, Joe, Giovanni with American Income, obviously, like we talked about, handling your benefits through the team search. Real quick, I'm actually on the Zoom right now. We just wrapped up with a member. We have like 6 or 7 members after you, so we're running around. I know you are too, man. So you're with Mary, right? Okay, perfect. Go ahead and jump on that Zoom. And real quick, you got the link, right? I'm assuming it. Don't just be like, "Hey, we'll see you in 5 minutes," and hope for them to get on. They're not going to get on. If they're like, "Oh yeah, we're going to jump on in about 5 minutes." Be like, "Oh, okay, great. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to keep you on the phone because there could be any, or for any technical difficulties or anything like that. Okay, so I'm going to keep you on the phone here. How's your day been?" Keep them on the phone. How many times do we book somebody and they're like, "Oh, I'll get on in 5 minutes," and they never get on, right? You have to keep them on the phone. And as soon as they get on, couple tricks here. So if you are the host, which most of you guys will be, of course, everyone should be. If you look at the top right, there's 3 little dots. If they don't have their video up, don't just be like, "Hey guys, there's this button at the bottom left. Go ahead and hit start video." They're going to be like, "I don't see the button, blah, blah, blah." So hit these 3 little dots and it says ask, I don't know. I think it says ask attendee or something like that, or ask participant, I think it says, ask participant to start video. And it will show on their screen and it'll say host is asking you to start the video. And all they got to do is click start video, right? If they're muted up, you can click that button. It says ask participant to unmute. And all they got to hit is the unmute button, right? Any little distraction or any little frustration is going to get them mad or maybe get them not wanting to jump on the Zoom. So you have to, if they're older and they don't know technology, don't make them feel bad for the technology. Make them feel good about it. Hey, I'll tell you what, I don't even know how we did it when we went through Zoom. For the last 70 years, we've always done this in person. Only over the last couple of months, we actually transitioned to Zoom. So I'm terrible at this as well, man. We're going to get through this together, Mary, right? We got this. You're right there. Oh, yep. Perfect. You're on the right track. Don't just sit there in silence. Did you get it yet, Mary? Yeah. I don't know why it's doing this today. Man, maybe our internet's good. Dude, you're literally talking yourself out of it. They're going to get frustrated and they're not going to do it. I once was with Javier and Megan. It took them an hour and a half to get this person on the Zoom. Guess what? This was during the September sickness. Javier knows. We finally got this dude on the Zoom because I told myself, I said, Megan, if this person, and Megan was getting frustrated, she's like, oh, like I'm going to kill myself right now. I said, Megan, if this person is that willing to be on the Zoom or to try and get Zoom to work for an hour and a half, I'm like, dude, it's a sale all day. I'm like, this is priority over everything. Dude, we ended up selling them for 3,600 LP. And Megan pitched the whole thing on her damn self. I didn't even do anything. It was all her. Fire, right? So the people that are difficult, don't just give up. We have a job to do. We have a duty, and it's to protect them. Just because the Zoom isn't working, we just give up? No, we still got to protect them. We have a duty and an obligation, and that's to protect them, okay? Whatever it takes. People ask me what it takes. I said, whatever it takes. I don't count the hours. I count the results. I say, we just got to do whatever it takes to get the results, right? I got 3 minutes, so I'm going to fly through. Definitely spend a lot of time on these small little things that make a big, big difference. So I got 3 minutes. Couple of things throughout the pitch, okay? And I got to hop off. So control. Make sure you maintain the control throughout the pitch. Throughout the pitch, you don't just get control in the beginning. You constantly got to be maintaining that control. Does that make sense? No, real quick, Joe. I need to make sure we're going over some very important benefits. Mary, that makes sense to you too, right? Yes. Get a yes. Joe, I'll tell you what. I've been talking all day. If you're in the meeting, if you're in home, I've been talking all day. Real quick, can you grab me like a glass of water, dude? If I don't ask for a glass of water, I feel like I'm not going to get the sale. I swear to you. If I don't ask for a glass of water, I feel like I'm not going to get the sale. I'm not going to get it. You know why? Because if you don't load a gun properly, it's not going to fire. If you don't follow the recipe to a cake, you might get a cake at the end, but it's not going to be the one you wanted. If a doctor doesn't follow the necessary steps to a procedure, he can kill somebody. You got to follow the necessary steps. My coach told me to ask for a glass of water. There's not a single sit, even if it's I hate to say it, a disgusting home. I literally get them to, it's funny. I get them to get me a glass of water with ice, and I pretend like I drank it and I set it down. Because I'm a germaphobe. You guys know I'm a germaphobe. Imagine me in homes, right? I'm like, oh yeah, I just literally ask for a glass of water just to set it right down, just because I know it's so important to get the control. And guys, remember, our big motto is we serve, we don't sell. But when we find out how to be really good at the sales process, we're going to dominate the serving process. You got to get good with sales. That's what we do. We do sales. Got to get good with sales. Okay. Man, I hate to say it because I got a lot of fire I want to go over, guys, but I know I got to cut this off at 10:50 for the group. Appreciate your time, guys. Obviously, some fire stuff in the beginning that'll help you. What I found out is that when you have the control, you don't even have to say things in the most ideal way. They'll listen to you. When you have the control over the phone, when you got the right mindset and you're setting yourself up for success, it's going to transfer over. Sales is a transfer of belief. When you transfer that belief and you're confident and you got the control and you're pouring into them, you're going to want to do the right things for them, and they're going to want to do the right things for us and their family, right? When you do the right thing at the right time for the right people, the right place, it's impossible to get a wrong result. All right, guys, I appreciate your time. Definitely, let's implement this stuff. I'm going to be going over Friday's sales call at 10. So what I can do is do the other end of it over there, and we'll go to the no cost, determine whole life, the needs, and all that stuff, and we'll get prepped up, guys. I appreciate you guys. Let's go rock it. Let's have a big freaking day. Don't look at success like it's an option, man. It's freaking our duty, our obligation. Let's freaking go, guys. Come on.
Thanks, Joe.
Thank you.